Mind of the Meanie is now an exclusive brand partner with WWEshop.com. Pick up all your favorite new merchandise from Roman Reigns,
Acknowledge me,
Cody Rhodes,
I have to finish the story.
LA Knight,
let me talk to you,
and more using our exclusive link in the show notes. Click below and show your support today for your favorite WWE superstar at WWEshop.com.
Yeah!
You know, Meanie,
What's that, Adam?
we hear this a lot. Every CBD company tells you that their product is the best. With quality control measures like lab testing and QR codes now becoming the standard, it can start to seem like all CBD brands are the same, but I'm here to tell you something, Meanie. They are not. Knowing what makes certain brands better will help you spend your money more wisely and have more confidence as you incorporate CBD oils, topicals, capsules, or gummies into your own wellness routine. And that's why we're proud to partner with Green Road CBD as an official sponsor of Mind of the Meanie. And Meanie, I know you're a longtime user of Green Road CBD. How has Green Road CBD helped you in your life?
Let me tell you, Green Road CBD is a product I've been using for years. And when we started Mind of the Meanie, I always was like, let's get Green Roads as a sponsor because I use them almost daily. Whether it's the gummies, to take care of the aches and pains of 30 years of wrestling, the topical solutions that help my knees, help my back, help my elbows, help my shoulders. Green Road CBD has done everything to help me maintain a pain-free existence from all the years of wear and tear as a professional wrestler.
And to me, Meanie, that sounds like the Green Road's difference. And it comes down to a really few important points. They're just part of the reason that they've won industry awards year after year, earned thousands of five-star reviews, and have heard countless stories from customers just like you about the impact that those products have had on your life. So Green Roads is led by a compounding pharmacist with 25 years of experience helping her community getting healthy. For her and the entire company, it's more than just a job, it's a mission. And not all hemp sourcing is equal, Meanie. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. But they select their hemp from high-quality American farms, and also not all lab testing is equal, which is why they use an accredited independent lab to conduct full panel tests on every single batch. And that's why Green Roads is an original manufacturer, not just a quote-unquote white label brand. So right now, you can go to greenroads.com, Meanie, and save 25% off of your entire purchase. Wow. 25% off of everything, Meanie. That's huge. And all you have to do is go to their website right now, greenroads.com, and use promo code MEANIE at checkout. It's 25% off your entire purchase by using promo code MEANIE at greenroads.com. Own the day with Green Road CBD, and we thank them for sponsoring the program.
This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world, according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide of perpetually nasally and congested, goddamn it, I hate this shit, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie! What's on your mind?
You know what the fuck's on my mind. It's been a long
Fucking gang day. Gang burn!
fuck yeah, man. Fucking holy shit, it's been a long 2 fucking weeks, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Has it been 2 weeks already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Inside Baseball, this drops on Monday, but we're recording Friday, February 7th, 2 days before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man.
Eagles versus the Chefs. And yeah, I'm amazed I have any stomach lining left, So, it's been 2 weeks. They played the Commodores in the NFC Championship game 2 weeks ago, beat them 55-23.
Crazy.
Which was a relief, After that Rams game came down to like one play in the like last minute, where you're like, oh my God, please fucking just win. We had a little bit of a laugh with the Commodores in the NFC Championship game. I can't call them the Commanders. And then last week, just a nice little break. It was Pro Bowl weekend or whatever. Nobody fucking watches that. But I'll give WWE credit. They've wisely positioned the Royal Rumble in between the NFC. They did the championship games and the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So there's something to look forward to in between. The conference championships and the Super Bowl. But man, we watched. We watched the Eagles win the NFC Championship. Went to Broad Street. Took in the part in the revelry.
Yep.
Had some daddy sodas.
Yep.
And man, I'm just waiting for this Sunday. Depending on when this drops. This is a Monday morning, you're listening to it. I'm either really sad or really hungover. But man, go Birds. It's been a crazy 2 weeks just waiting for this game, and I wish somebody would just like put me to sleep and then wake me up at kickoff.
Yes, that would be preferred. Just let me rest through this. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk to anybody. Let me just sleep. I don't want to feel anything until game day. So,
it's like it's maddening listening to all like the prognosticators and the pundits talk about the game, and you gotta be careful who you listen to, because there's some like the idiot Nick Wright who if the Eagles were like paid went like had an undefeated season, he would still find a way to say they suck.
Right. Or Joe Buck saying how terrible they are.
Yeah. So it's just a mental chess game, man, of just trying to stay even keel, even though I'm confident going into this game. I like our chances.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. But Sunday can't get here quick enough.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's as you know, longtime listeners of the show, they are aware that I am not going to say anything positive or negative about the Philadelphia football team. I don't even like saying the name on the air, because I feel like if I do, I'm going to jinx it. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, Meanie, I'm going to put this comment. First of all, thank you everybody who's joining us right now.
Yeah, we got a great room here.
One True Sport YouTube page, on the Mind of the Meanie YouTube page, and the One True Sport Twitter account, because as y'all know, we're never calling it X. But I'm going to put this on the screen for you here, Meanie, and I want you to just read this, because I don't want to read it, because if I do, especially for such a big game, I don't want there to be any issues here. So I'm going to put this up. It's a comment from Andrew H., and you go ahead and read that, and then you can discuss, and then I will sit and quietly pontificate amongst myself.
Andrew H. says Jaden, assuming Jaden Daniels of the Commodores, is a generational talent.
Commodores.
Philly made Washington look pedestrian. And it goes without saying, go Birds. Looking for Saquon to have a huge day and be the X factor. And that's what I'm hoping, man. The Eagles run offense. It's probably one of the most punishing offenses in football. And, he listened to interviews, he listened to like Delane Johnson's and all them, and they like that, and Cam Jurgens, and they talk about how like they love to oppose their will on opposing defenses and just to run the ball and mentally make them check out. So, Saquon is a blessing. Just the way he runs, his eyes, his coordination, just the way how he can find a hole and just go for 70 yards,
Yeah.
And And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a special day. It won't be easy or, physically or emotionally for me, just as a, pedestrian fan watching the game. But man, yeah, the Commanders, I basically when they beat the Eagles, when Jalen went out, that was their Super Bowl,
Yeah.
Yeah. They celebrated like they, beat Tom Brady and the Patriots, when they beat, the Eagles with Kenny Pickett, So it's just
also,
like,
what was the score of that game again? The one that they beat the Patriots.
55-23.
Oh no! I'm talking about the Super Bowl win from a couple years ago.
Oh yeah,
where they beat the what was that? They beat the Tom Brady fella, right?
Yeah. What's funny is the night before the NFC Championship game, I guess like 200 Washington fans went to the Hard Rock in Center City. And, whoever their leader is, Tailgate Tom or whatever his fucking name is, gave the speech like they fight. It was like you would have thought they stormed the beaches of Normandy the way they fucking.
I saw the videos and I'm like, you guys picked the fucking Hard Rock?
Yeah, Tailgate Ted.
That's it. Tailgate Ted.
I won't besmirch the Hard Rock because I have a friend who works there, and she told me every time she served a drink to a Washington fan, she went, "Go Birds." So I was like, did they at least tip? She was like, But yeah,
of course they did. They're fucking Commodores fans. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, of course, Philly fans, we keep receipts.
Yep.
So somebody spotted him in the stands, after the game, after the drubbing 55-23. And they're like, "Hey, congratulations on the Hard Rock takeover." He wisely no sold it and just kept walking. But
I love it.
Good Lord. And we went to Broad Street, and that was a whole nother party and a whole nother atmosphere. But
you know what? I would be remiss not to mention this though about Tailgate Ted real fast. So apparently Tailgate Ted is battling cancer of some kind.
Yeah.
It looks like lung cancer or something. And just in case you think that Philadelphia is the worst fucking place on the planet, I just want you guys to know, anybody listening out there, that the Eagles fans came out en masse for this guy and donated a shit ton of money. They donated like $55.21 for the score. They came
55-23.
That's 55-23. Yeah. They came out and donated all kinds of money for this guy and really, really helped out. So
they more than doubled what he had already had acquired.
And that's some good shit right there. That makes this cold heart happy. So just in case you think we're the worst fucking people in the world, you know.
It's very cool. Very cool. But
we got
I thought you were going to say something. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, Josh Rosenbaum is here. What's up, Josh? Longtime fan of the show. Meanie, I'm at the soup. Thank you for writing it the not word so we don't get pinged on Al Gore's internet here. I'm at the Superb Owl. I got you a shirt. And,
thank you. Thank you, bro.
I'm working for the Eagles Autism Foundation. Man, that's a great organization over there.
Yes, it is.
Incredible.
Talk about organization that's worth giving money to is the Eagle Autism Foundation. The Eagles do a fantastic job. Josh Rosenbaum, more famously known as Coach Rosie from the Ad Free Show universe. Yep. Thank you for joining us over here. Coach Rosie has been sending me updates, from New Orleans, and he even made it. He sent me a text, and it was CBS 3 in Philly. And I was like, I forget who was there. Oh my God. Pat Gallen from CBS 3 News was doing a remote there. I was like, that's Pat Gallen. We follow each other on Twitter. Go say hi. And he did. And he's like, hey, I'm going to be on. So I put on the news, and you see Coach Rosie in the background purposely walking back and forth, getting on TV, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome, man.
Coach Rosie doing great things down there on behalf of Eagles Autism. It's awesome.
Wow.
I think the Eagles fan base has almost got them converted over, to become a full-time fan.
They're again, it's I can't put it over enough. The Eagles Autism Foundation is an absolutely fantastic organization, great group of people over there. And like Meanie said, if you're looking to donate to something, that's the place to do it. So, all love and respect to that team. And Coach Rosie, we thank you, sir, for your time, my friend. We got Dwayne Anglo. I hope I'm saying that right. Anglo, listening from the Philippines.
Hey,
man.
Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Welcome to the team, my friend. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody being here as well tonight. Joining us, we have our first super chat in here. It's Australian $2. So good day, mate. And this is a pretty common question. I know that you've received a couple of times, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it here. The Blue Meanies and the Yellow Submarine. Your origin?
Yes, the character was given to me by Raven. I guess apparently, I was wrestling on the Indies at the time as Brian Rollins, and he watched me work. He said I reminded him of the character, the Blue Meanie from the Yellow Submarine, which fine by me. It was my foot in the door. TCW. Most people would have probably scoffed and dye my hair, wear a half shirt and Daisy Dukes, and I'm from the school of it's an opportunity, it's a foot in the door. So I dyed my hair blue and got the half shirt Daisy Dukes and made it work. And here we are 30 years later.
Yeah. We want to thank you for your Australian $2, mate. We appreciate you.
Maddie Jazz Cabbage, are you going to AEW this weekend?
Maddie Jazz Cabbage.
I think they got the AEW Grand Slam down there.
Uh-huh. It's airing at a wacky time, too. I think it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning here.
Here?
Uh-huh. Something crazy like that. So maybe somebody can fact check me in the chat here, but I know it's going to be like overnight.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching a New Japan show.
Supposedly it's just everything's out of whack. But I ain't getting into that because I don't know all the details. So.
Yeah, I know it's late. So if you're going to get up and watch AEW, God bless you, because I will be sound asleep and I'll catch up on it tomorrow.
Look, if you're not the Philadelphia Eagles or a fucking UFO expert, I ain't watching shit right now.
Mass Entity said Grand Slam is next week and will air on TNT. I got it. Whenever the NBA stuff is done. Got it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the clarity there. I thought it was going to be on later and I couldn't remember. I was like, what the hell? I can't remember what time it is. So thank you for that information. So we appreciate you. So like I said, we're going to report hopefully something next week. If not, we'll have other things to talk about.
Last Sunday, me and Mrs. Meanie went down to the Link for the Eagles send-off party.
Yeah, that looked like you guys had a good time.
Yeah, there's like a last-second thing. She saw an ad for it. $10, get in, see, and send the players off. It was a good time.
That's cool, man.
The best part was, getting in there, and you get to stand on the field.
Oh no shit!
So yeah, so it was so cool. You walk, go into the Link the normal way through the security and all that stuff, but then there was this entrance. It took you up one ramp. Then you hung a right and went down this one ramp that goes right on the field. And it's like an entrance I've seen. It's a way I've seen a million different times watching Eagles games. If you're an Eagles fan, think back to Eagles Vikings NFC Championship game where Patrick Robinson runs back that pick six. He goes to the end zone. He almost runs up the alley. We came out that way. And I was like, holy shit. It was pretty cool to see. I felt like I was in a game of Madden, like if you're playing Madden and you pause it, they go to replay and you can like scan the different parts of the field, what's this like? So I'm standing there, I'm looking up and around most of the time, just, trying to see everything, but very cool experience. They had a DJ there. They played some highlights, a lot of stalling until the guys got over there. But very cool experience. Went to the pro shop and and I fucked a lot of the Super Bowl merchandise, which it's kind of like when they when you win the final game to go to the Stanley Cup and they present the trophy, and it's like almost like, it's taboo to touch the trophy. You don't want to touch that trophy because you want to lift the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm looking at the Super Bowl merch, but I don't want to engage with it at all because I hope to buy it if the Eagles happen to win the big game. So, we'll see. But yeah, that was awesome. The Eagles kickoff party, it was like $10 a ticket. I think that went to the Eagles Autism Foundation as well.
Awesome.
And yeah, man, just doing a bunch of cool stuff, man, this week in anticipation. Going to watch the game at McCuskers, the worst kept secret in the world. We watched the NFC Championship game at McCuskers, and there's a film crew there that's supposedly filming on behalf of the NFL.
Wow.
And it was like a independent company, but they, get, contracted out to film. And, of course, me, Mr. being like, want to know behind the scenes stuff. They're like, yeah, more than likely if the Eagles win it all, hopefully, knock on wood, the Eagles will probably end up having this footage. So
that's sick, man.
Yeah, you might see footage of me yelling "Free Luigi" just to get a pop at the bar. After one of the Eagles touchdowns, and the Eagle fight chant breaks out. We sing, "Fly Eagles Fly" and EAGL, and I just go "Free Luigi," and the bar goes like cheap pop,
that's heat, brother.
Yeah. Well, no. What he did, I can't condone.
Right.
I can't condone murder, but it's like one of those things. Like, I don't condone it, but I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And like Chris Rock said, I don't condone it, but I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry if I'm just rambling here. I'm just trying to.
Dude, you're fine. We're excited for the Superb Owl LIX. We are, which I think is going to be the name of the episode, Superb Owl LIX. And I think, is this the second time? This is the second time that the birds have been in the big game, and we've recorded together, right?
Some 2 times in 3 years.
Wow, man.
Jalen Hurts is the first Eagles quarterback to go back to the big game. Jalen Hurts is the first Eagles quarterback in history to go to the big game twice.
Wow.
Nick Sirianni is the first Eagles coach to go to the big game twice. So there's a lot of records being done here. 3 Super Bowls in 10 years.
That's
1-1.
big, yeah.
1-1, hopefully win another. The tip the scale in our favors with like 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on the Chiefs, man. I was watching Media Day. The Media Day press conference was a little bit of a shit show.
Always.
Which, the Media Day reminds me of, back in the early 90s watching Howard Stern or listening to Howard Stern radio show. He was sending Stuttering John off to some kind of press conference to ask. I remember watching Stuttering John ask Tommy Lasorda if he ever farted in the catcher's face. And people will be like, "Oh my God, how can you ask that question?" Well, it's 2024, and those questions are being asked all the time at the NFL press day. And it turned out,
Stuttering John.
Yeah, there were some funny questions. And when you're watching it live, you're like, "Oh my God, how can somebody ask that?" And then turns out some of those questions was Guillermo from the Jimmy Kimmel show. Guillermo was asking Saquon Barkley how to freshen it up in the bedroom, So yeah, but so I watched that. Again, there's a lot of pressure on the Chiefs, man, because there's one reporter had the balls to bring up to both Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce about the refs.
Oh yeah,
and I got to I was always taught you don't sell.
Yeah.
And, the guy asked Mahomes, a lot of people in your career have helped you. Who's your favorite ref? which ref do you send a Christmas card to? But then he asked Travis a question. And then later on in the press conference, Travis, was just like, I got a question for the media. Why do you keep talking about this ref thing? It's just like, ooh, it got to him, Yeah. If the question didn't bother him, he probably wouldn't have acknowledged it.
Yeah.
But the fact that he turned around and asked the media, why are you obsessed with this ref thing? Well, dude, just go on Instagram. There's a million videos of showing how phantom. He says, the reporter says to Travis, I know, what do you love more, Taylor Swift or a phantom holding the pass interference call? And he's like, oh, good one. Next. And, there's a lot of pressure on them. Because no team has won 3 Super Bowls. There are 3 big games in a row. It's a lot of pressure, but I'll say this. When it comes to football, you're either winning or you're learning. You learn from every loss. And the Eagles' loss in the Super Bowl 2 years ago came down to one ticky-tack play. Was it a penalty? Sure. Yeah. But were they calling it all game? No. So I think they learned a lot from that game, that experience, and they're bringing that into this game and this experience because now they know what to expect. And if anything's in the Eagles' favor, if the Eagles happen to win the Super Bowl, this would be the second trilogy they would have busted up because when they won in 2017, it was in between 2 Patriots wins. So it's just useless knowledge that I look to tea leaves and stuff like that. I look into for, inspiration to get me through to the weekend, to this, to the big game. So if you're not from the United States and you don't know shit about football, I apologize. This is as a Philadelphia sports fan.
Yeah.
Equate this to whatever sport you like, and this being the biggest thing your sports team could have ever faced.
Yep.
And it's pretty unique, and I'm excited. I'm either going to be really sad or really in debt if they win. Really sad if they lose. I'll be in high debt if they win because I will get all the merchandise.
Yeah.
I still have merch from the 2017 year that I probably still haven't worn yet.
I was going to say, I'm looking up at my shelf up here above my desk. I have the hat from the World Series in 2022 when the Phillies made it, but I don't know if I ever got anything from 2023 when the Birds were in the Super Bowl. I'll have to find something. Maybe go on the old eBay and pick something up when for this game as well. But in case you are interested in watching the superb Owl LIX, it's going to be Sunday, February 9th. That's if you're watching this live right now with us, which thank you. We appreciate you. But excuse me. It's this Sunday, February 9th. Starts at 6:30 p.m. It's the Kansas Shitty Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm going to give us a one of these.
Yo, cause.
And one of these.
Fucking game day. Go Birds!
And we will certainly keep you up to date after the game. You mentioned
Matty Jazz Cabbage is in Australia, and I was listening to WIP, and they have a guy who calls them from Australia.
Oh,
the guy says the game's starting the exact same time he has to report to his new job. So he has to weigh the option of, do I go to the first day of do I call out sick on my first day at the new job?
Oh my God.
Or do I convince him to put it on?
Yeah. I mean, you could try to convince him to put it on, man. It may not be the worst idea.
Yeah.
But go Birds to everybody. A pleasant go Birds to you. And
shout out to Tid Talk in the chat.
Yeah.
My buddy Chris Tidwell from Canada, fellow worker, fellow Eagles fan.
He says, is it just me or are the Eagles the babies in this game?
I don't know. I'm sure there'll be a lot of babies made if they win this game.
Lots of babies named Jalen and potentially Jason Kelsey, because if we had another kid and it was a boy, the child's first name would be Jason Kelsey, but it would be like, his first name, Jason Kelsey, and then his middle name, and then, but it's not going to be put together, You get what I mean. So, and then he says, when they win, Meanie, get it right.
Brother, I am so superstitious. Tonight I'm clean. Well, I don't even know if I should clean my lucky underwear.
Probably not.
I got my green underwear that I wear on game day. I wear I have a Reggie White t-shirt that I wear. Then I wear this black hoodie over it, so I layer up.
Of course. It's cold.
And I put my Ike Reese over it.
Mm-hmm.
And my lucky green underwear.
Hey, man. If they're not washed, I wouldn't wash them because you could wash the luck off of it. So
at this point, I could whistle and they walk over to me,
they're just stuck in a position in the corner. The last time you jump in,
you peel them off with a tea kettle like you're reading the neighbor's mail. Just.
I love it, man. It's so good. So we also transitioning from Yo Cuz and Go Birds to a pleasant yeet to you, sir.
And a yeet to you.
Yeet. Day one, it's just me, Oos. Yes. Gentleman Jey Uso. Mr. Main Event. Man, you did fucking handsome as hell. Gentleman Jey Uso won.
That was great.
Shocked the world.
Yeah.
And won the men's 2025 Royal Rumble this past weekend in Indianapolis. Meanie, I want to get your thoughts on that win and Jey Uso's, shocking win in the Rumble.
I don't know why people. Well, I guess it would be shocking, but Jay's he's been up there. He's been ascending. His career's been on the upswing. I don't see it coming down anytime soon. So, not that he needed to win it, but it doesn't hurt to elevate a newer talent. I mean newer talent. I mean newer to that tier. Yeah. There's people been in that tier. I'm not saying he's a mid-carder. I'm not saying that at all. Mm-mm. But like certain people on certain part of the cards, just was another really cool piece to add to his resume, of accomplishments. And I think they're hitting it just at the right time. Yeah. You don't want to do something you don't want to do something a year after people wanted it. Like, for instance, when Roman Reigns, remember when Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble in Philly and they booed him?
Yeah, they booed him out of the stadium. Yeah.
But the year before, and I call it the curse of Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan was hot as anything. And it was the year that people really wanted Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble, and he got eliminated. And Roman was left in there. I forget who he's in there with, but people were really cheering for Roman to win that Royal Rumble. And he got eliminated. So I think WWE saw that reaction the year before, and when they really wanted Roman to win, they were like, well, we'll have him win it next year. It was like, but when they had him win it the next year, it was too late.
Yeah.
The luster was off the rose, so to speak. If they would have called an audible and let him win, when they see the fans behind it and they go, fuck it, Roman's winning, feed the refs, fuck it, tell Roman to win.
Yep.
He would have won there. Who knows where we'd be right now? He might be one of the top baby faces where they did it a year late. He got booed. And that led to a negative heat. There's good heat, there's bad heat, and it wasn't his fault. It was the booking's fault. But that led to him, eventually becoming heel and becoming a tribal chief. So, now with Jay winning the Rumble, I think it was at the right time.
Yeah.
You don't want to. Don't put it off, another year. Do it strike while the iron's hot. Let me use another cliche, and. See where it goes. See which title he picks. I don't think he hasn't picked yet, right?
So it sounds like he has. I know he's going to be on SmackDown tonight, but I don't foresee him. He made it pretty clear in the last what the hell was it? When he was in the crowd with his son, he was like, "I'm going to go after the World Heavyweight Championship." So I think that's probably where they're going to go. And then also, too, just real quick, Mass Sanity's in here and saying 2014 was the year Batista won. And I remember this because they were pissed because this is what he says. He says they were pissed because Daniel Bryan wasn't in it. That's why they were angry. And then in 2015, he was eliminated super fast. So
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Clearing that up. Yeah, let me see. How fast did he get eliminated?
Our crack researcher, Mass Sanity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. He was in, let me see, where is he at? Daniel Bryan. Oh, yeah, he was eliminated in 10 minutes and 38. Let me see, where is it? Hold on, I just lost it again. 10 minutes and 36 seconds, rather. And that was the year Roman won. He eliminated Rusev. But I don't know if that was the year with Batista in the main event. I can't remember what happened after that. That was the WrestleMania match where he won over Batista and I think Randy Orton. So, but yeah, no, definitely a wild time. 2015 Rumble in Philly was a bad night. The boss says, "Yeah, dude, it was a bad night." You get in the ring and you can't even get Dwayne to get you fucking over, man. That's a bad night.
I was almost in that Rumble.
Really?
Yeah. I had just done, me and Stevie and Joey Styles had just filmed ECW on Release Volume 3. And I got the idea to say, hey, what better way to promote something I just did for the company, a DVD that's coming out, and have me in the come out in the Rumble and say, hey, hosts of blah, 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 come to video stores, whatever. And reached out to my buddy JBL, and JBL went and pitched me to creative. And it was down to me and Bubba Ray Dudley. As far as, ECW surprise. And they went with Bubba and fought, and they got, awesome stat, no hard feelings, messing out the Bubba Ray. But I was almost in the 2015 Rumble in Philly.
No shit, man. That would have been crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, it would have been cool just to, just from a perspective of, hey, being in Philly, being in ECW and hosting a DVD and Blu-ray that was just about to come out.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Let me see. Andrew says the triple threat match for that title is highly underrated. I don't know anybody who doesn't like that match, though. I think it was really good. I think it was really well done. Mass Sanity, the show, our resident, I think we can give them now. The resident show historian here says that was Bubba's only ever appearance in a Rumble match.
That's amazing.
Wild. But it's I think it was the right move to put Jey over. And I think, there's a couple things I want to, kind of point out here. When we were up in the press box, little inside baseball. And again, to be clear, I had no fun. Meanie, I had no fun.
And as you shouldn't, as a reporter, being on location, and no selfies, no fun.
Nothing. Like it was like when the people were like, "Are you having a good time?" Of course, just like this, as straight as I am right now. It was terrible. But no. So in the little kind of peeking the curtain back, if you will, baby. Some folks are selected to go to the press conference after, and some aren't. So they notify you either get like sometimes on some of the passes that we have, like you'll see it'll say like press box only or press box, and that if it says press box, you go to the post show. This time around, anyone who was on the press conference list got an email like kind of right at the beginning of the show, right around I think it was around the tag team match. And then so basically they're like, we were kind of like Malcolm and I were there. Shout out to Muscle Man Malcolm, friend of the show.
Yeah.
We sat together, me, him, Sir Wilkins, and then Alex, Queen of the Ring. We were all sitting together and we're like, all right, well, if we're going to the presser, we're going to just get up and go in the middle of the show or in the middle of the men's rumble. So we got up and we moved our shit. We went down to the opposite end of Lucas Oil Stadium, down where the other place was. And we're watching on the monitors. And I think at that point it was down to Logan Paul. No, it was the Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns elimination. We got over there and saw that. was like, holy shit, that's crazy. I didn't expect that. And then Punk goes over after that with Logan Paul, and you were like, oh my God, this is crazy, right? And then Mass Sanity said too, he was like, they really did a lot of great storytelling. And yeah, I mean, it was like legit, all of us were talking and we all kind of thought Cena was going to win, but we weren't sure, So then it's down to Cena and Jey. And I'm like, well, that's, in my head, I'm going, well, that's a weird choice to have Jey at the end of the Rumble. Not expecting, because I'm like, oh yeah, Cena's got it locked now, Right. And when he went out, when he kicked him off of the ring apron there, my exact reaction, I went, oh my God, he won. Like I just yelled it. Like I didn't know, like it was like, I can't believe this. This is crazy.
Yeah. And that's probably how they wanted it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Cena's final year,
And that's,
it doesn't mean he can't go and get into the Elimination Chamber now. So we'll see. But that was a nice element surprise.
And that's kind of the thing too. I wanted a Mass Entity was saying, he wrote what I was thinking. Like in my head, I'm going, because you had your predictable win with Charlotte Flair. Like you kind of had an idea she was going to win. Like we all kind of knew that from the time she was coming back.
People acting shocked that Charlotte won. I mean, really? I mean, I don't get that. There's supposed like this manufactured outrage that Charlotte won too, and I don't get it. I don't get the outrage for that.
I don't see it. I mean, I get, like, I can see why people would be frustrated, but I also don't. There was, again, just like the men, there was like 10 or 12 different women that could have won that Royal Rumble and it would have made sense. Yeah. But yeah. I didn't see, especially after her injury, and with the return, it's the Cody Rhodes story, right? You come back from the injury, you got to make it back, and, just is what it is. Like, I wasn't upset about it. I was just like, okay, she's going to fight Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. Okay, cool. Like, we're looking forward to that. But the men's match, I was just like, the storytelling between all those characters and everything that's going on there with Roman and Seth, and now Punk loses another year, and he's not going to main event WrestleMania. I still think he might pull it out, though, because I feel like they're setting the seeds for Punk and Cody. And I think Cena might not win the Elimination Chamber. I think it's going to be, because again, like, it's this year-long march, right? Yeah. Like, he hasn't won a singles match. He loses the Royal Rumble. What if he loses to CM Punk at the fucking Elimination Chamber? Like, that's good shit, man. That's a great story to tell on his way out.
Absolutely.
And I think that's going to be the move. But no, it was wild to watch in the stands, and to see everybody, because you could see it was like this very big surprise in the crowd for him winning. But Penta was Penta out? Yes, Penta had been eliminated much earlier in the match. I can't remember, but boy, what a fucking pop that guy got. Like, what a response from the crowd.
Yeah.
Sometimes
especially realizing the matchup of him and Ray.
Yeah. I mean, they teed that sucker up incredibly. And then here, Charlotte's missed an entire year. She's fresh. Exactly. Like, that's the whole point of that women's Rumble, was to put her over. And there was a lot of great talent in there that they put over. Like Jordan Grace is now officially a superstar with WWE.
Yes.
You have Julia. You got Stephanie Vaquer. They're all there. Everybody's is great. David Van Halen is here. Hold on. He's got a good something here. I got Roman winning first day with the new mouth. I got Roman winning Elimination Chamber. Punk using his favor to make it a three-way dance. Roman, Cody, Punk. Honest to God, that was my thought too, man. That was exactly what I thought. What do you think, Meanie? What do you think that's Punk's? Is it Punk's favor to the wise man?
I'm trying. Did Jey already pledge to fight Cody at Mania?
So it sounds like Jey is already pledged to fight Gunther.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think that's where the story's going, because
and you know what's cool about that? It makes Gunther's belt look just as important.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Everybody's, Cody's belt has the direct lineage to, the OG WWW. It's got the lineage back all the way back to Bruno.
Yeah.
This, Gunther's belt is like got this new lineage. So for somebody to go, oh, I want the Gunther belt.
Yeah.
Instead of the Cody belt, makes the Gunther belt looks even more important.
And I think that's why. Then everybody's like, oh, they're going to make it the main event of night one. Yes. Jey Uso will have a main event on night one. That's how it works.
My question is, what was the question again? Because I was trying to figure out the two belts.
Sure, yeah. So somebody was saying, David Van Halen was saying that he has Roman winning the Chamber, and then Punk using his favor to make it a three-way dance between Roman, Cody, and Punk. I do believe that Punk will be in the Cody storyline somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah.
It's possible that it could even be Seth Rollins, too, because don't forget, Seth and Cody have a very long history together. Seth has never beaten Cody and has never I don't think Seth has ever main evented WrestleMania. So,
unless it's like a fatal four-way. You know?
It could be.
I was watching, speaking of Super Bowl, I was watching Rich Eisen's show, which had Seth Rollins on today.
Yeah.
And, or yesterday, but I watched it today. And they made allusions to him wanting to possibly, face Cody, at the at WrestleMania. So, and that's the beauty of the booking. You can't really predict exactly where it's going to go. You can have allusions to where it might be going, but their booking is spot on right now. It's money.
They're just honest to God firing on all cylinders right now. It's so good. Like everything that they're doing is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring this back before we get into our favorite segment of the show here, because Mass Sandy's got a bunch of questions. Lots of great stuff here. The boss says Penta lasted the longest. Yes, I think he had the Iron Man spot this year and was eliminated by Finn Balor. I got a chance I got a chance to talk to Penta at the Royal Rumble media event. And that article, I think, is going to drop this weekend on Screen Rant, so don't forget to check it out. Cheap plug, I'm sorry. But he was an amazing guy, very excited, very personable, very happy to just be there. And at some of these events, they move people around pretty quickly. It's not anybody's fault, right? It's just like, hey, these people have commitments and things, and they have to go here.
It's like speed dating.
Yeah, kind of. You get 3 minutes, and then you're like, okay, then you go and do the next thing. But Penta was with everyone. He was there the entire time, from the beginning of the event to the end, and he spoke to everyone who wanted to come up to him. And he was fantastic. So, he was, again, I think there's going to be big things for him. And if the rumors are true that Aleister Black is on his way back too, I think this is going to be Hunter's time to get him to shine too. I really am excited to see him come.
And that was one I was hoping would show up in the Rumble would be Aleister Black.
Yeah.
He always tried to think of like, who's going to, come back. And, I thought for sure Becky would have been back.
Yep.
But, they're holding back on some surprises, which is refreshing.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, man.
Yeah.
Rollins did tell. See, there you go. He told Rich Eisen he lost all of his matches to Cody 2 years ago. There's the big story. And then Joe Hendry got a huge pop. Sometimes it's hard. Oh yeah, it's hard to tell on the TV sometimes, but in the stadium, I mean, they went.
I was watching in McCusker's on my phone, so I didn't have full audio, so.
They went crazy for Joe Hendry. And what's wild too, is they gave Joe time with Roman Reigns, right? They had him eat a spear from Roman Reigns, which is still like, irrespective of him, like getting his ass handed to him by Roman Reigns, like that's a big nod, right? Like that's a big moment for him. And
like I said, with the past Rumble where, what's his name? Who's the dude who came out in the Rumble and again Brock was like, "Ooh, big boy."
Oh, Keith Lee. Keith Lee. Yep.
Keith Lee was in NXT at the time, I believe.
Yep. And
he got a spot in the Rumble, and just Brock looking at him and acknowledging his size, gave him the rub. So Joe, Henry being in there with Roman, I mean that's a good still to have. TNA could have that's still in there, our champion, with the tribal chief,
Yep. And that's what, who doesn't go trade? Machete's here. What's up, Machete? I didn't know you were here. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Who doesn't? I mean, we all did. There's video of me, again, not having any fun, of course.
No.
But there's video of me.
Fuck fun.
Why would you have fun at one of these things? That's stupid.
Yeah. Dude. You work, you get paid, you leave. Don't.
It's just someone coming out, bro. It's everybody was going nuts. Everybody popped for Joe Hendry. And I think that's really cool because, like, I know sometimes people are still have that, like, LOL TNA kind of mentality, but, like, my dude's a fucking star. Like, he is a star, and he is good at what he does.
Yeah.
And I think that really shows well for him.
I keep wanting to call him Phil Hendry after the radio host, one of my favorite radio hosts, Phil Hendry, and top impressionist who was always, he did a lot of stuff on The Simpsons too, but no, Joe Hendry, you know. But dude, is it weird that, like, I prefer blonde Joe Hendry over the dark-haired Joe Hendry?
No, because it's over.
Like, the blonde hair makes him. I think, yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this point, but it just popped into my head, and it is the mind of the meanie. So,
listen, man, it was good. And then Mass Sanity said here too. He goes, Hendry was eliminated by Roman, so it wasn't just anybody toss him. Right? I mean, it like if you're
going to get tossed out, you're going to be tossed out by one of the greatest champions in WWE history. You know,
the fucking top guy, man.
Yeah,
and he's so freaking genuinely nice. I'll tell you. Shout out to Wheezy Blonde, friend of mine, content creator who was at WrestleCon this year. And we were talking about some of the folks that were there. And his line, Joe Hendry's line, was like the longest of anyone.
I met Joe Hendry when TNA came to Philly. I went over and introduced myself and had a really nice conversation with him. And he made it a point to talk about how it was cool to be able to work in the ECW arena. And he talked about it. I forget where he said, you know, one of his first matches in the States was at another historic venue. And just to have his match at ECW arena, he said it meant something to him, which it was really cool. It was really cool. But super soft-spoken guy, very polite, very awesome. And I couldn't be happier for a guy. You know, I love it when good people do good things.
Mass Entity says here, a few years TNA did a show in Albany, and they were late to let fans in. Joe Hendry went outside and talked to fans while they were waiting. I mean, yeah, every story I've ever heard about this guy just makes him sound better and better, and I do hope he gets that match with John Cena this year. There was one more thing in here I was going to mention before we go.
Yeah, imagine if Cena went over to TNA to have one match.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so frustrated I got to go somewhere else to have a match and try to get my win. And if I'm not going to get my championship here, I'm going to get it somewhere. And he goes to fight Joe Hendry and puts Joe Hendry over. That'd be crazy, man. That would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Max Sanity said, oh, yes, this was fucking nuts, man. Would you want to take the spear that I Show Speed took? Now, let me tell you something about this spear. Okay.
Tell me about I Show Speed because I have no idea who he is.
Excellent thing. I know very little about him. I know just what my kids.
I don't mean that to be a jerk off. I literally was like, who is this person?
So he's a very popular streamer online.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know if I would call him a content creator, but he's a streamer. Like Kai Cenat is a streamer, and he was there too. But he's incredibly popular. My kids love him. They think he walks on water. It was one of the most violent bumps I have ever seen in person. I have never seen someone take a spear the way that I Show Speed took that spear.
Yeah.
If there's a video, if you can go online, you can go on Twitter. I don't know if it's on Fightful's account.
Fan footage, right?
Yeah. Well, it's actually, it's Sean Ross Sapp. He took a video from the press box.
Oh, geez.
And I don't know if it was it's on Sean's account or if it's on the Fightful account, but you can hear us all pretty much because we were somewhat in the same vicinity, but you can hear us all go, oh, and you hear Sean go, oh my God, that's literally what I said was like, holy shit, I think he killed him. I think Braun Breaker killed that fucking guy.
Braun Breaker killed a man.
Brick killed a guy. Brick had a grenade.
There's a man on a horse and a trident.
I had a trident and I killed the guy. Rick, maybe you should lay low for a while. Maybe the police might be looking for you.
You may be wanted for murder.
It's the Bleats. But no, I love that flick. I have to buy it on DVD. Now I got to watch it. But anyway, no, I don't know if you saw it, if you had a chance to watch it, but it reminded me of an old school, like, Rhino gore, right? Like the way that Rhino would just wreck people. What did you think about that, man, when you saw it?
Like I said, man, would I take it? I'll say this. I would know how to protect myself a lot better than I show speed. It's hard to put into words just how fast Braun Breaker is. You know, that man, legit, like, it's like when you listen to an audiobook on 1.5 speed, kind of, it's like he's that much faster than the average human.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to give him one more pass, like, hit that rope. And I thought he was going to give him one more pass, and no, he just went in and legit just, speared him out of his shoes. So would I have taken it at that speed? Probably, but I probably would have known how to protect myself a little bit better too, I would have made sure I was fully facing him, and I could just, know how to absorb the blow a little bit better, instances like that, that's a bump where I would bump like a split second earlier, right before the impact. So it's me kind of controlling the bump before, we hit the canvas,
Yeah.
Like, I always take Bradshaw's, JBL's Clothesline from Hell. And the secret for me taking it was I would still be at the same height, but I would have my feet kicked out. So when he hit me, I still control the bump, where if you wait for him to hit you and then go down, it's you have no control over it. But if you're kicking at least one leg up right before impact, you could control the rate of your bump. So
Jesus. What does that feel like, taking a clothesline from hell?
Dude, believe it or not, his clothesline, I don't want to kill his gimmick.
No.
Maybe it's because I figured out how to take it. Some people are like, Jesus Christ, but I think I think the fact that I knew kind of how to like brace for it, and like I said, I would start my bump 0.5 seconds before impact, with kicking my leg out. So when he hit me, I was already kind of taking the bump to begin with. But yeah.
Yikes, man.
I know I'm speaking in circles here, but it's like, oof. I'm still thinking of that spear.
Man. That was that was ugly. Like I genuinely thought that man was dead.
You know what? I'll say this too. And it just dawned on me. And it's the thing I always say about Spike Dudley.
Little Spike Dudley.
Spike would wrestle like big guys like Bam Bam Bigelow, and they would throw Spike, and Spike would take these huge bumps. And people are like, man, doesn't that fucking hurt? And Spike was like, well, I'm $150. I'm $145, $150. Me hitting the mat doesn't have quite the impact that somebody at 300 pounds would have. So, Braun hitting I show speed at that thing might have wrecked maybe a heavier guy if he hit me, I'm like, 330. So I would have the pressure of his weight and my 330 hitting the mat, where I show speed, whatever he weighs with a brick in his pocket. He's not going to hit the mat as hard as much of a bigger person would. So that's my theory going into it. It looked violent as shit.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that he's a little bit lighter might not have had as much of an impact as if he was a bigger guy taking that bump.
Man.
If that makes sense.
It does, yeah. Good God.
And Matt Sandy has a good point here about Otis.
Oh, yeah, too, he did. Yeah. I mean, honestly, too, like if you watch that video back. So Mass Sanity here, in case you're listening to this instead of watching it, he says, don't forget, Otis threw Speed over his head and over the announce table afterwards, too. I mean, if you watch the way that Speed landed, it looked like he was lights out, man. Like it looked like he was a dunner. Like he was gone.
Yeah.
And then having him thrown over the back like that, it was like he wasn't blocking himself either. You know, like there's ways to take those kinds of bumps, and that wasn't
Brother.
Woo-wee. That was ugly
I
shot.
laughed popped. I laughed popped.
Because you're so uncomfortable. You're like, oh fuck.
I usually shall like you know, because I wasn't expecting it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like WWE released a video today. His leg got ripped up. I saw that. I saw he had
probably from the announce table. Probably,
yeah, I think it was probably him getting tossed over. But yeah, no, I mean, if you get a chance to watch it, it was quite an event. It was quite a moment, man. I'll tell you.
Before the bump, he was I show speed. After the bump, he was I shit pants.
I wish we could make that the episode title, but
you could just replace the I with the exclamation point.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, not bad. Meanie, I have a quick question for you, good sir. If you don't mind, it's about that time.
What's the time? It's time to get ill. What's the time? It's time to get ill.
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
Yeah, of course.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
Don't forget to tweet us your questions using the hashtag Ask Meanie. Can you hit the news button for me there, pal?
Oh, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have unconfirmed reports coming in from the Mass Sanity news desk that I Show Speed left his underwear on top of the stadium in Indianapolis. We'll have more reporting later on tonight.
That's a hell of a hook shot.
Seriously, man, that's where it's probably he got hit so hard his underpants are probably stuck somewhere up in the clouds above fucking Lake Michigan. So
I just popped myself because before he was I show speed, after he was I shit pants. Back in the day, there's a comedian there's a joke about the movie Dances with Wolves. The guy was the character Dances with Wolves was named Dances with Wolves because when they saw him he was dancing with wolves. And they're like, if they saw him, like a half hour earlier, they would name them Wiping with Leaves.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
What are you sipping on today, good sir?
Oh, sipping on gin and juice.
Mm-hmm.
Got myself some Canada Dry seltzer. Mandarin orange. Just learned to read today. So.
And I got some of the cheap shit from Aldi, sparkling frost, the pink grapefruit flavor. I've saved it all week for the show here.
And speaking of shitting, I went to Chicken Pete's today.
Oh, man.
And, the grease went right through me. So me and the wife had to go to ShopRite. And I was like, I'm going to go take a shit. So I go in there and I sit down. And dude, if there's one thing, it's like when your ass knows it's near a toilet.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And you just have to stop and breathe, because if you go to sit down too soon, you're going to full metal jacket the fucking wall behind you. You're going to go and pile the fucking porcelain wall. You're going to look like a fucking rhinoceros just fucking shitting in the wild.
Spinning its tail everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, I get into the fucking bathroom and I get into the stall. I'm just like, oh
man, that's the worst.
So, somebody referred to it as like when you get home and you think you got a shit and your body knows you're home and it's like, yeah, my ass just tapped into the home Wi-Fi. But I sat down, did my business, and there was no toilet paper.
Oh no!
So I had to text Mrs. Meanie. I was like, "There's no teepee." So she got somebody from she went to the women's room, got 3 wads of toilet paper, and asked a stranger to bring me some toilet paper.
Could you imagine telling somebody at the desk, like, hey, there's no teepee in the bathroom, but don't go in there. It's probably a murder scene.
Yeah.
Don't go in.
Well, so that was my day. I don't even know what made me talk about that story, but here we are talking about me pooping.
Let's crack these suckers here when we get a chance. We'll get some of these questions going here. We got 3, 2, 1. Oh, yay. Woo. That nice citrusy kiss right on my face there. Cheers, beers, pinkies up. Oh, yeah.
I'm addicted to the fizz.
Also, shout out to my succulent Chinese meal I enjoyed before the show started here. I've been smelling it all afternoon here, and it's fucking delightful. Let's see what we got here. We got a couple questions. We got 3 questions to round out the show here. The boss wants to know, Eric Allen finally got his due for the NFL Hall of Fame. Which past Eagle is overdue to be inducted, in your opinion?
Man, Eric Allen is a damn handsome man, I'll tell you that. Overdue. Man. Because Reggie White's in. Brian Dawkins is in. I would love to see... I'd like to see Brian Westbrook go in.
That's a great choice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have stats off the top of my head, but I've been watching a lot of Brian Westbrook with this week with the Eagles being in the Super Bowl or, the big game. And they're talking about, Saquon Barkley. And, if you go back and watch Brian Westbrook highlights and just how he made people look foolish. There was one game where he caught a pass from Donovan against the Tampa Bay Bucks, and he made 7 people miss.
Whoa!
And there's like an amazing compilation out there. And thinking back to the that day, those days, you're like, man, he's one of the best, And I'd like to see Westbrook get in as a fellow Brian.
Yeah.
And then as an Eagles fan. And it's weird too, man. I was just thinking this. I was like, it's weird to being at the age now to where people I've watched play football are going into the Hall of Fames,
Yeah.
Or bands in general, you know?
Dude, fucking Eminem was just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm like, what the fuck?
The Foo Fighters got put in the Hall of Fame. I was like, bro, I remember the first time I heard their song in like 93, 94. Probably 94.
I think it was 94, if I remember correctly.
I'm still living in Jersey. I'm driving, and they're like, "Oh, new song from the drummer from Nirvana, Dave Grohl, a band called the Foo Fighters. Here's This Is a Call," or I forget which song it was, or I forget which song.
Yeah. But I can hear it. I'm fell into. Well, I talk about it.
No. Which one is I Don't Know You Anything?
Oh, was that their first song or was that their second?
I'll Stick Around.
That's the one. That's the name of it.
That's the first song I heard, and I was like, then here we are, and Dave Grohl's a 2-time Hall of Famer between Nirvana and
crazy
Foo Fighters.
Man, actually, I don't know. Are you a Nirvana guy, or are you just Foo Fighters?
I like Nirvana.
What did you think about You're Right?
I loved it.
Oh man, that song fucks hard.
Loved it.
So good, man.
That had been floating around on bootlegs for a while. I even think Courtney did a cover of it, live with Hole. There's bootlegs, but when they finally released it, I'll still listen to that song. The opening gives me chills. Just imagine, like, it kind of signaled a different direction for the band too, because who knows where they, which direction they would have went had Kurt not, did what he did. Yeah. It's a shame, I
think one of the rumors that I heard, and I don't know how true this is that they didn't release the song on purpose because they were like, we don't want to change the sound of what we do, kind of thing. And I think, and again, somebody can fact check me in this, but I remember reading or hearing something about Kurt Cobain being like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to put this out because it could make us like international stars, right? I don't know if I want all that kind of fame because it was very heavy song, but it was also like something you could hear on like, a top 10 radio, Yeah. But man, I remember hearing that for the first time and being, oh my God, this is crazy good.
Fantastic.
And again, it's just, I don't know, man. It's such a shame that happened. He had so much talent.
There's a box set out there. I don't know if it's official or unofficial. It was called Outcesticide. And tons of like unreleased songs on there live and whatever. And there's so much talent there.
Yeah.
But,
it's a shame, man. It really is. Let me see. What's our next question here? Eric, or the boss, thank you for the question here.
Great question. It's my favorite thing.
Mass Sanity wants to know. For me, thank you. Adam, good question at the Royal Rumble press thing. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Did you have to choose which site you represented, or was that specifically a Screen Rant thing? Thank you for the question. No, I write for Screen Rant. So I am a wrestling reporter, news reporter for Screen Rant on their wrestling beat. So when I went and I submitted my credentials, I submitted for Screen Rant. I was lucky enough to sit up front with Muscle Man Malcolm, and when they were getting ready to ask questions for Jey Uso, I happened to be the first one that they called for that question. So I always submit for. And when I was with Sports Illustrated, I was actually with Sports Illustrated when I submitted my credentials for media at the Rumble, and then I reached out to them. One of the guys that I'm close with, I reached out and told him I'd switch, and he was like, "It's fine, no problem." But yeah, that's always something that we identify, like that's the site that I write for when I go. So thank you for the question, good sir.
Good question.
Thank you very much. He's got a couple more things here. Nirvana Unplugged is one of the greatest recordings ever. One of the greatest recordings ever. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that.
You know what? Speaking of that, leave that question up.
Oh, yeah.
Nirvana Unplugged, they did a cover of David Bowie's The Man Who Sold the World.
Yes, man.
And there's a great documentary on Peacock right now. Ladies and gentlemen, 50 years of music on Saturday Night Live. And Bowie was on there, and Bowie was on there doing The Man Who Sold the World. And I was like, you know what? I kind of prefer the Nirvana version.
Yeah.
It's amazing when a band does a cover and you prefer the cover to the original, but that's the case with that song.
It's like No One Compares to You with Sinead O'Connor and Prince. Like, I don't know, man. Sinead kind of killed that shit. She kind of fucking rocked that shit.
Yeah, dude, here's a great cover. As soon as you're done listening to this, go on YouTube. Prince did a cover of What If God Was One of Us.
Really?
And it's way better than the original. And a lot of people are going to, every time I say that, people go, well, Prince wrote the song. No, Prince didn't write What If God Was One of Us.
No.
Eric Brazilian from the band The Hooters in Philadelphia wrote What If God Was One of Us for Joan Osborne. But then Prince did a cover of it, and it's phenomenal.
Oh, man.
You might actually tear up listening to it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out, man. I would love that. All you R&B fans out there too, there's a Tamia song called So Into You, which was famously sampled by Fabulous in the early aughts. Childish Gambino actually did a piano-infused cover of that song on one of his live NPR performances or something.
Was that Tiny Desk, or
was that?
Was that NPR has the Tiny Desk series? Was that it?
No, it was. I might be misremembering or not remembering correctly. I don't know if it was NPR, but it was like a live music show that he did. Yeah. It was just a tiny little space, and he does this cover of So Into You, and it's, he's playing the piano, and oh my God, it's so fucking good, man. Go out of your way to check it out. It is phenomenal. And he says here too, Dave Grohl is the only person to have 3 songs on MTV's top 10 with 3 different bands at once.
Oh, wow.
Nirvana, Foo Fighters, and Probot.
Nice.
That is an impressive statistic.
Probot record's pretty good.
That's an impressive statistic. I'm going to listen, and you're right when we get on our show.
Before I get out, shout out to Kerry King of Slayer. He's got it's been out for a little bit, but go online, check it out. I went and saw Kerry King last night, or 2 nights ago at the TLA in Philly, and his solo band is really good. Nice. It's like almost like an all-star band. He's got actually, let me who's in this band right now? It's him. It's Paul Bostaff, the drummer from Slayer. Mark, I'm gonna go fuck up his name. I mean, not even gonna try to say his name. Phil Demmel from was in a band called Machine Head.
Yeah.
And Kyle Sanders, who's been in a bunch of different bands, but fantastic. Go on my Instagram at Blue Meanie BWO. I posted they did Rain and Blood, and that was, which is a Slayer song, but it was really good. So I just went, I don't know what made me think. Oh, well, the music topic, I just want, give Kerry King some love,
Cool, man. Our last question of the day comes from Maddie Jazz Cabbage. Says, could we get a future 4-way show with me, Meanie, Dominic D'Angelo, and Roberto Van Dam?
I don't see why not.
I'm down for it.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the same network, and we like to promote each other.
Because that's what you do when you're joining a fucking network. You promote them, right?
Yeah.
You don't sign somebody up and not promote them. You fucking do what you're supposed to do.
And have fun.
And have a good time. It's just someone coming out, bro. But Meanie, I want to thank you for your questions, good sir, and for your answers, rather. And I want to thank you watching, all 88 of you. Thank you very much. We appreciate you joining us. You had hundreds of places to be on this Friday night, and you chose to be here with us. So we want to say thank you, because we literally could not do this show without you and your support. So thank you. But Meanie, you know what time it is, brother.
Oh, yeah.
It's that time. Shout out to Enrichment with this beautiful beat here. But good sir, where can people keep up to date with all things blue when they're not listening to the program?
Yeah, if you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, at Blue Meanie BWO on all forms of social media. Support the Blue Meanie. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. If you'd like to support Mind of the Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. MadCatBeardCare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Shout out to Josh Thornton, doing an amazing job over there at MadCatBeardCare.com. Cat lover like myself. He rounds up the kitties, nurses them back to health, and sends them off back better than he found them. So if you want to look good and smell good, go to MadCatBeardCare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters by the amazing Al Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others I'm trying not to spoil. Go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com or UPW Video Game on Twitter. The Figure Collections Bone Crushing Wrestler Series 1's variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1s can be ordered right now at shop.figurecollections.com. That's shop.figurecollections.com. Type Blue Meanie in the search bar. Get regular Blue Meanie or BWO Blue Meanie. Either way, there's no wrong choice. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net, podstrz.net. Register your podcast, book the blue guy. Let's have a conversation over at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Please book through the site, not through the app. The app takes way too much of your money. All that money you think going to the town is actually going to an app store. So go to Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. Let's have fun over there and make somebody's day a little bit better. And most importantly, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you, sir?
Well, thank you, sir. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, at Mrs. Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. So you can go and find me there and keep up to date with everything I have going on at the moment. You can also listen to Foundation Radio by going to youtube.com/@Foundation Radio Pod. We're on a bit of a hiatus right now just because things are getting busy with Screen Rant. So you want to make sure you go back and check out all the archive over there at foundationradio.net. Don't forget to check out my work over at Screen Rant. Like I said, right now I got my articles coming from my conversations with Penta and Natalia from Royal Rumble Weekend. Got a lot of great stuff up there already. Also got a chance to talk to O'Shea Jackson Jr.,
Nice.
Star of Den of Thieves, this movie series. Got to ask him a question about Den of Thieves 3, which is going to be starting filming soon. So go and check that all out at screenrant.com. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop in downtown Lawrenceville, the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Go ahead and see Kane and Jordan and the rest of the team over there and get yourself looking great. Nice beard line, nice hairline. They get crazy busy, so schedule in advance before you get there at 10thwardbarbershop.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa DeMeanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias. You can see it down here at Mind of the Meanie. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Sign up today and join the Pod Squad. Tiers start, Meanie, I don't know if you know,
What's
at
that?
just $10. And when you sign up today, you get an official Pod Squad memberships card signed in blue ink by the blue guy. So go and get yourself today at patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. If you go to YouTube, if you look at that link above Meanie's head right there, youtube.com/@Mind of the Meanie, our entire archive is there. Every single show that Meanie and I have done going all the way back in your time machine to year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2021, when I was living in Pittsburgh. You can find them all there at youtube.com/@Mind of the Meanie. We want to give a shout out to our friends at One True Sport who host the show each and every week for us, and they promote the shit out of us. And you can get yourself an amazing t-shirt over there that was created specifically for the Blue Meanie. Go and pick one up there. They have a lot of other great options as well. So go and every dollar you put into the show goes right back into it. So go to onetruesport.com. So we want to thank them for their time. And we also want to thank you for joining us this evening and being a part of the show each and every week and making our shows so very exciting. For the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie.
Go Birds.
Go Birds!
You cause.
Peace!
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.